1. And ladies and gentlemen, we are live. Dude, we haven't, we got a lot to discuss. Holy smokes.
We do.
Yeah, we got 45 minutes to discuss everything in the world. I think we need to start with this. What are you doing with your life? As of right now.
It seems like this and Twitter and watching The Wire and watching movies.
What's The Wire? Is that a show?
Yeah, I know you don't watch TV shows.
Hold up, dude. Can we talk? I don't think we've talked since I binge watched Game of Thrones. I finished it in like a week.
How mad were you?
So you've watched it, right?
A week is impressive.
Dude, impressive, bro. Like impressive to the point where I'm kind of like, I feel bad about myself because I didn't do anything but that.
I mean, you shouldn't feel bad about yourself. It's just impressive.
How mad was I? I was really upset, but here's the thing. It's so much better to binge it in the amount of time that I did rather than like grinding through all of those seasons like in real
Year
time.
by year.
Dude, because I remember people like going into depression because of it. Like legitimately.
We waited like a year and a half, 2 years for it.
It was up to 2 years, yeah.
It's unbelievable.
I think we've talked about this. Amelia Clark is like my girl, like Dibs. If she's listening to this, you can follow me on TikTok.
Amelia,
Robby
Row.
I was just really upset how it all like unfolded. Like obviously, right? Like that's the easiest thing to say, but just all of the build up for like that. You know what I mean? Like they built up so many different things, so many different story arcs, and it kind of
no.
Yeah, so in that regard, yeah, obviously I was upset. What was your biggest, like, if you can take one complaint that you had with that final season, what was it?
Dude, it was just, there was so much that had to happen, and I think you went through like 3 episodes, and nothing had still happened, and then they wrapped it up like that. It was like 5 minutes. You know, the big fight with everything, and with the Night King. And once that was done, I was like, okay, well now what's gonna happen? Like Arya killed, like that was sick. Like that was the biggest point in the whole series was Arya just going Jordan switch up on him.
Oh yeah,
with the stab.
Wow, great comparison.
Oh,
I'm going right. Let me just switch that real quick.
Check that. And but then it was just, you know, and then the whole one episode was Daenerys burning the entire city, and you're just like, all right, well, cool. And then
I think that was my biggest complaint is like it literally like that all of a sudden she's a psychopath. Like what?
Yeah, but yeah, you know, it is what it is. I'm gonna try to watch The Wire as quickly as I can. You know, tomorrow's gonna be it's gonna be very impressive to see how much I get through.
I've never even heard of The Wire.
Well, you should probably look it up. It's regarded as possibly the best TV show of all time.
Word? How many seasons?
That's a great question.
Is it still airing or is it already
HBO.
done?
No, it's been done for a while.
Okay. HBO's the move, dude. That's how I did Game of Thrones through the cable box because you have that like free HBO thing in there, and you just crush.
Yeah.
It's easy.
Crush. Yeah.
Yeah, I was really upset with Game of Thrones, but I mean, obviously it was a really good show.
What's next on tap for you?
Right now, no shows, dude. I mean, like, just busy, man. In a selfish way, this whole coronavirus is great for online training.
This is true. It is.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, back to the original question. So, I'm sure everyone's gonna want to know when they listen to this podcast. Like, what are you doing, dude? What does a Major League Baseball player do during this time?
Right now, I'm shacked up in my brother's room. Well, he's cleaning out his stuff at school, and he comes back tomorrow, so we're gonna figure that out when he gets back. And then, you know, I read a little bit. I always have books around.
No, you don't.
A little bit. I always have books around.
They're picture books.
I wish they were picture books. That'd be awesome. But I have a book I do want to read. I've read a couple chapters of it. I hope, you know, I'll read it in this time. But kind of sit around. I've been doing a lot of different, you know, I guess interviews or podcasts or just sitting on Twitter or creating different arguments or lists for people.
Yeah, you're creating quite the buzz there, man.
Huh?
Creating quite the buzz on Twitter. You mentioned me in one tweet, and it was like notification after notification after notification.
People are just sitting on it.
Yeah, people are just taking up all my freaking Wi-Fi.
Yeah, it took us about 15 minutes to figure this out.
Yeah. So I think the one of the questions someone asked me to ask you was like, obviously you still are kind of caught between continuously like building up for innings. So what does your training look like? What does your throwing progressions look like?
It's hard right now because it's in between building up and being. It was originally being ready for this thing to be done in 2 weeks and us to be back, and then now it's looking like it's going to be longer. So it's kind of gone backwards in terms of throwing. Training has in the weight room has gone up because we have more
Sure.
free time. But normally all this time would be spent on our feet at spring training. So it's kind of good to be on our feet and do some stuff. And so some of the weight room stuff has definitely gone up. Throwing, it's just managing, trying to stay sharp as much as you can without quite overthrowing, without a necessary, end date to all of this. But also, just making sure that I throw and I'm able to stay, sharp as I can. So a couple bullpens a week. At some point, I might get bored of throwing just bullpens and have hitters stand in.
Yeah, I was gonna say, dude, that sounds brutal. It's just bullpen after bullpen.
Yeah, bullpen after bullpen could get tough, but we may have some hitters stand in, make it a little bit entertaining for us because we've got
good
guys
content.
We've got guys wanting to Trevor Plouffe wants to get in there. He's like, I absolutely want to get in and face you. So we'll see what we can come up with.
If you need me to come down and make you look bad, dude, I'll stand in for you.
Dude, can I stand in against you?
Oh, good luck, bud.
Now we're talking. Now we're really talking.
Yes, because it's kind of weird, right? Because like you don't know whether to like give your arm maybe even more days off or like continuously.
It's good to give it it's a little bit of a rest and a little bit of a break. Like I feel great, my arm feels great. It's just a little bit of an added break, I guess. Kind of without question, we'll throw less this year than I did last year. But it's also looking towards the next year. I don't want to throw too little to then try to throw 200 innings a year from now.
Sure. Yeah. Well, hey, more time to work on that changeup.
Hey, we'll see what comes out of it.
Bro, I was so upset. Like I felt like besides that your opening spring training outing, all the games you pitched, I think were not on.
Not
actually,
televised.
one was on ESPN.
Yeah, the Mets one.
But you didn't throw any good changeups.
That's such a lie. I absolutely had a swing and miss.
Hold up, in the Mets outing?
Yes.
Oh, dude, you got to tell me which one that was. I got to double back and check it out.
Yeah,
because the only other one I saw was in your opening one, and freaking
Tommy was in the way. Yeah, I threw one Brandon to Nimmo. He swung through it.
No, that's the one in the opener.
No, it's funny because this one was also to Nimmo.
Oh, jeez. Okay, so that's a good. Yeah, I'll definitely have to go look at that now. So what have you been working on your end? I know you sent me some stuff. I want to tell the audience what we got for them in store.
Like what? Oh,
we got brackets. We got freaking top fives. What do we got?
Well,
dude?
you and I. So we've been doing. There's a lot of lists that people want made, but my buddy and I came up with. We came up with a bracket for March Madness teams. Since we're not gonna get a March Madness, but that's the big thing people are making is brackets and lists because of no March Madness. But we did a March Madness of the last since 2000, but there were some teams we didn't know enough about, couldn't include them. So we came up with, I think we had 38 teams.
Was that the final number we got?
Yeah, we came up with 38 teams, so 4 play-in games. It was like the best teams, and then it was just some notables. Jimmer's team is obviously in there. So most of the national champions are in there. Sure. And they were seeded based on 1 through the first. There was 10 national champions. The first 10, whether it was the first, all the 1 seeds were national champions. The 2 seeds are national champions, and then 2 of the 3 seeds are national champs. We ranked them in order, and then from there we just kind of went in order of who we thought was the best team from there, and seeded everybody out, and kind of randomly put it all together. Creating
So these are just best teams. So they're not like most exciting teams. They're just best teams.
Well, also most exciting. So like UMBC being the only 16
Right.
seed to
Right.
win. Florida Gulf Coast,
George Mason.
George Mason.
Also, these teams are in there.
Oh, they're in there. Yeah.
Oh, so it's a
combo.
bracket on like most exciting or most whatever teams. It's not
Yeah,
necessarily just best.
No, it's not necessarily just best. Now some of the best are included.
Right.
You have Adam Morrison's Gonzaga team. Has
Oof.
to be in.
Yeah, that was a tough time in
Tough.
my life when they
Steph
lost to
Davidson
UCLA.
team. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Steph
tough time.
Davidson's team. Wow, I totally forgot about that.
Yeah, don't forget about that.
No, I
There's
can't.
D Rose Memphis.
Can't make a free throw, man.
Man.
Did you see the clips on? I think it was Sports Center. They said like D Rose with the Bulls was just different.
Yeah.
It was on Instagram. Oh my gosh, you
was
forget how
unbelievable.
just like unreal that dude was.
Yeah, it was unbelievable until he got locked up by LeBron and bounced.
I watched on ESPN Classic or something. They had the 2011 Kentucky team, dude. That team.
Yeah, that team's on the list. That team is that was the undefeated team.
Was it 11 or 12?
I don't know. One of those teams in those years went undefeated.
Yeah. Well, no, because one of the teams lost to. Which one was the team that lost to Indiana?
Or no. Which team? Which team lost to Indiana?
Was it 11 or 12 Kentucky? The one with
Which Kentucky are you talking about? Team that won it all?
Yeah.
Oh, the 11-12 or 10-11. I don't know. Are you talking about the John Wall, DeMarcus Cousins team?
Yeah.
That team was sick. That lost. Yeah, that team lost.
Who was paired with Anthony Davis? Brandon Knight?
So the Anthony Davis team,
Eric
did
Bledsoe?
not. They did not win at all.
No.
Wait, it's right here. What am I looking at? No, Anthony Davis did win it all.
Anthony Davis did win it. DeMarcus Cousins didn't win it.
DeMarcus Cousins did not win it. The other Kentucky team that didn't win it was the Anthony Towns, Devin Booker, the Harrison Twins.
Wow.
Undefeated team that lost to Wisconsin. Frank Kaminsky, Sam Decker.
Wow. Great White Hopes.
Yes.
And then they lost to Duke.
They lost to Duke. It's crazy because you look at some of these teams with Quinn Cook, Tyus Jones, Jahlil Okafor, Justice Winslow, Grayson Allen, all on the same.
Grayson Allen. Just a tiny bit of a Great White Hope.
Dude, it's crazy. So we're gonna do it. I hope you remember some of these teams, but we need a third person to decide because if we are picking opposite sides, somebody's got to pick somebody else.
Yeah, no, I'm in there. But that's where I was talking about with you the other day, where like we need to go on IG Live, dude, and like we need to have that up and running. But the only problem that I think we'll run into is Wi-Fi.
Yeah, Wi-Fi could become an issue.
But ideally, that'd be dope, right? Like throw on a podcast, dude, and have your boy there, and then like go on IG Live, say, hey, this is what we're talking about. This is the debate right now. Here's mine. Here's your rebuttal. And then, hey, guys, what do you got? Like, and then first one to 10 votes gets a freaking.
We got it. I got it all bracketed out. I'm putting it together.
Is that the one you sent me?
I sent you the list, but I haven't sent you the bracket yet.
Okay, so I have the list. All right, I'll work on some stuff too. I'll have to take a look at it. Because there's probably some teams you left off. We could probably get to 64 easily.
I mean, we could, but I'm not going. We stopped at 36. We got Melo and his Syracuse team on there.
Do you have JJ's Duke team with Sheldon Williams?
Yes, JJ's Duke team is on there.
There's some
Russell Westbrook, K-Love, Aaron Aflalo, Darren Collison.
Ew. Yeah, so that we got to figure out
St. Joe's.
Who's on St. Joe's?
Jameer Nelson and Delonte West.
Oh, dude, they came out of nowhere. I remember that.
Gross.
Or how about the thing you sent me today about Kemba Walker's UConn?
Oh, of course, Kemba's
that
on
game. That game was on ESPN Classic. The 5 overtime with Syracuse.
Oh, that was a sick game.
They lost that game. No, they won that game. Wait.
No, they won. I don't know.
They won the Big East tournament that year.
That was in the tournament. Yeah, that was crazy.
I remember staying up from like at night watching that. I was like,
you were not going to bed.
Yeah, but I remember just,
I think I
like
probably got
going to
yelled
school
at
the
by my
next
mom
day.
for
So
staying
did
up
I,
watching.
because we had school the next day.
100%.
Oh
100%.
man, it's like, Mom, I can't go to bed. Come on, because then after
What
the
do you
game you gotta go shoot jumpers in the front. Everyone knows that. Random question: best pizza you ever had? Go. Wow, hits you freaking hard there, dude.
Wow. Uh, Dude, Mulberry Street Pizza that we have here is pretty dang good, but there is definitely better. I've definitely had better. Where is it? Couldn't tell you off the top of my head.
Yeah,
Where's
that's why
yours? You definitely have
Domino's.
an answer.
Domino's thin crust. It's super simplistic. You know what you're gonna get every single time. The delivery's there. It's got a mobile freaking tracking app. And we'll interrupt this episode by saying that this sponsored Domino's Pizza.
Oh,
Yeah, we don't have
Domino's.
one. I mean, I live in a town of like 3 other people, and that includes my family. So it's like we don't have one here.
Go Domino's.
Go Domino's. Pick up your local
All right.
Domino's.
What else do we got? We got a lot.
So, all right, let's talk about the list that you made or the lineup you made that MLB posted today on their Instagram account.
Yeah, what do you got?
Well,
Dude, I got what?
I was gonna ask, like, did you get any flack for that? Because like I looked at it and I was like,
Yes.
yeah. I mean, there's no.
I got flack for okay, so first off, let me just say it was decided you have one game. This is not a season, this is not a series.
Okay,
One
here it is.
game.
All right, hold on. Let me tell the audience. All right, so Jack's lineup for a must-win lineup: batting leadoff at short, Jeter; Griffey in the 2-hole, Pujols 3-hole, Bonds 4-hole, Hank Aaron, Chipper Jones, Yachty, Roberto Alomar, and then Bob Gibson on the bump.
So it's one game. So you have to talk about, clutch and whatnot, who you want up there, who you trust. But also I did try to stay true to position. So I couldn't just throw guys, in different spots they didn't actually play.
Right.
I got flack for Jeter, of all people.
Well, what's funny too is everyone else that they mentioned with Yelich and Snell, they've all put Jeter.
Yeah, and I got a lot for saying Jeter at short because he's statistically not as good as, his sabermetric, whatever you want to call it. His analytics are terrible. Like, I don't care what any of that says. In one game, especially hitting leadoff, if the order comes around and I gotta have a guy up there, I don't even the three guys that I want hitting are Jeter, Griffey, and Albert. Those
You
are the
also
three
don't have a DH, which I noticed,
No,
obviously,
of
right?
course. What do you mean? This is real baseball.
Well, I saw Blake Snell had a little DH piece, and
Yeah,
I was like,
notice
I was
the two
confused. Why is there
National League
someone-
guys didn't
Yeah.
put a DH.
Right.
Yeah, and then of course I had to put Bob Gibson. That's the one guy.
The one thing that I will say, sorry to interrupt you, dude, but like Mike Trout's going to go down as probably one of the game's best players ever.
Okay, so that was the hardest. That was one of the hardest decisions was Trout or Griffey, and I
'Cause
can't
you can't
argue.
put him in right.
No, I can't, and that was the decision that I made was I can't put. I'm putting them both as center fielders. Who am I gonna put there? And for one game, I put Griffey. But if somebody said Trout, I couldn't argue Trout. They both would have fit in the 2-hole for me. Yeah, I just had to go with Griffey, just due to favoritism.
It would have been cool if you would have like got to say the year. Like
Oh,
what year?
That's something. What was that? That was a list I wanted to. Oh, that's a 2K list I want to do. Is your favorite 2K players, but by year, like 2K whatever, or NBA Live from this year. Yeah.
Ooh, we
Like
can do
NBA
a bracket
Live 09
on games. We can do a bracket on like best sports games.
Oh, there's so many.
I'm gonna
Like
write
NBA Live 09 Kobe was the
NBA
best.
Live was dope.
Yeah.
Nothing beats freaking MVP baseball 04.
No, nothing. There's no game ever. But yeah, those are those are things to do is like put a year, like you get a prime everything.
Yeah.
It's Like honestly, if we're picking, and I just did so it'll probably be released later, but I just did a staff and a bullpen.
Ooh.
Yeah, those are pretty good.
Do you remember off the top of your head who's your staff?
My staff was Pedro, Randy Johnson, Gibson, Maddox, and Koufax.
And myself. You would have so many. Oh, you would have the stones needed to say that.
That's a that's a lot of stones. Yeah,
There's so many cool like
it'd be
lists
very fun years.
that we could have.
Oh my goodness, yeah. To pick a year too.
Like another good question would be, what was the most impressive year for any major sports athlete?
Ooh, because that takes into account everything.
So you can be like Steph in 2016, his MVP run. You could say Bonds is 73 homers. You can say, I don't know, a football record. Not a huge football guy. Like an individual performance year, though. You know what I mean?
Oh, individual performance
Right.
year.
So
What
like
was the best?
like the athlete's year for his, but you have to specifically say like what year it was.
That could be very interesting.
Yeah, it's probably not going to be something that's going off the top of your head because knowing you, it's going to take another two years.
No, not at all. I mean, I would love to. I wouldn't. Yeah, that'd be very interesting. The Cardinals did one today of best Cardinals moments, which was actually a very good. There was a lot of
Yeah, best
answers.
moments. Those are
Yeah,
fun.
best. Those were there was very good
Ooh,
ones.
here we go. Here's one that sparked an idea. What would your top 5 baseball moments be? All throughout your life.
All
Baseball.
throughout that I can
Yes.
throughout my
State
life that I can think
championship.
of.
Yes.
Oh, my life.
Yours.
Oh, wow.
Top
Okay.
5.
Oh, so of my life. Okay, number.
No way you're going to rattle this off right now.
Oh yeah, number
There's
one.
no way you're going to
It's
go
not
5.
what anybody would expect, but it's the first championship I ever won when I was 6.
Number 1 is?
That's my number one because I was 6. That's the first. That's the only trophy we've kept ever. Just that is number one baseball moment for me. The first one we ever won. 2 it'd have to be my debut.
Yeah. Was your debut at AT&T?
Yes,
That's dope.
it's a nice place.
That's the first Major League Stadium I ever pitched at.
Really.
Got a little shameless plug in there. Sorry about it.
And then 3, 4, and 5. I know 4 is gonna be
How do you skip to 4?
because I know what 4 and 5 are gonna be because they're not gonna top 3, but I have to think of what 3 is.
What's your
4
state
is
championship?
4 is a state. 4 is my state like national championship. 5 would be the gold medal with USA when I was for the 18U.
Mm-hmm.
3, man, either winning the NLDS against the Braves. That was just that was a fun series.
Yeah.
I think winning I mean, I guess winning the DS against the Braves, or maybe even more was sweeping the Cubs in Wrigley this past year.
Yeah.
Yeah, and pitching the first game, that was one of my most fun games I've ever pitched.
Yeah, I mean, you hit 99, so book it.
Right? I think that is the moment in and of itself.
I remember because it's funny. Those moments are great for me, like as a spectator, because like I remember specifically where I was and like what my reaction was, and like I literally was on the floor of a house watching it, doing mobility, and then saw it, and then went to MLB TV, screenshotted it, threw it up on the gram.
He said, "What? A TV 9?"
Oh, jeez, oh Pete.
That's all anybody cared about. I saw I text after the game. It was like, a TV 99? Who are you?
Yeah. I'm sure your phone blew up.
I said, I don't even know. That's all it was about.
What about the moment, and again, this is another one of those things where I remember specifically where I was watching it, was like, it was, I think, your last regular season start, and you had that crazy string of second half performances, and you got the standing O.
That was
That's
that
got
was
to be up there, right? Probably top 15,
that
maybe.
was cool. That was really cool. Yeah, that's up there. That was just, I didn't want it. I was like, get me out of here. I tried to
No,
leave
I
the
don't know. So don't say you know, because
I
I don't
tried to
know.
leave the dugout. I tried to leave the dugout. He sent me out. He was like, "Oh, go hit." I said, "You're not letting me hit. What are we doing? Why am I going out there?" Calls me back. Wayne, I was like, "Oh, God, God, like, no. No, 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 no,
So
no.
you didn't want to do it.
No." But, it happened. And it was cool.
You're so
My buddy
shy.
just texted me this. You're not a football guy. But he said he was thinking about college football today. He said the best players he's ever seen. So you can bet that's something that's going to come out.
Vince Young.
Yeah, Vince Young's up there. As much as I hate to say it, just ruined SC. Literally ruined SC.
Um,
Ugh.
yeah. So I gotta sit down because we gotta schedule a time to like have legitimately like say 3 lists or brackets to like really tackle, and then
Yeah,
we'll spend like a podcast on them each.
yeah. I'm
This
up
one's
for it.
kind of just like the preview of what's to come, I guess.
Yeah, all the
Just
downtime, all the lists and
yeah.
brackets that I can possibly make.
Okay. Yeah. So here's another thing for the fans that are listening to this. Be sure to let us know if there's anything that we're missing that's potential
Yeah.
gold. I saw Stubby Clapp got in on the Twitter conversation. That was
Hey,
good.
how'd you like that team?
Yeah.
The pitchers playing a position and
Yeah.
half the pitch.
Yeah. That's why I loved it.
How did you?
Well, yeah,
How,
Weave
how would you
catching.
grade me out?
So
Huh?
why would you say Weave was catching? That was my question.
But if you look at the team, right? And I'm just looking at the guys, like who do I think could catch? I could put myself back there, honestly. I catch
Yeah.
a lot of flat grounds.
I love flat grounds.
It just is what it is. Um, but I'm thinking of guys who can hit around the league and what position they would play. I didn't have a choice. As he whips out
Speaking of flat grounds, I'm ready to catch one right now.
come catch my flat ground tomorrow.
I'll catch your flat grounds. Just don't throw me that poo changeup.
Just looking at guys around the league, I was going to put myself in there. DeGrom at third. He could, obviously was a shortstop. And then Greinke, guy raked last year.
Yeah, and he's an
Bum,
athlete.
yeah, real athlete. Bumgarner and Waino I think they have the first and second most home runs for current active pitchers. Lorenzen literally
Yeah.
played center field.
He's literally actually a position player, I think.
Actually played center. I've seen Freed. That dude, yeah, he's a real good athlete. So he's in right. He can go get it. He can run. And then probably the surprise one was Woodruff, but he rakes.
Yeah.
No, he rakes.
Yeah.
So Woodruff and then Weave, and I was like, well, who can catch? I was like, okay, I could put Woodruff back there. I just think Weave or Greinke, one of those two. Weave would just figure it out, and I think he's gonna go diving like crazy, and he's gonna throw his body in front of every ball that bounces.
That's why I put him at third, probably. Or second.
Okay.
I could see Weave playing second.
Yeah, no, he would have been second, but then like Greinke would have caught, and he's just gonna be very meticulous and
Actually,
he's
Weave's super fast. So
yeah.
maybe in the outfield.
I didn't have a spot for him in the outfield. Max is left-handed, has to play the outfield. Bumgarner is left-handed.
First base. Bumgarner's first base.
Yeah, Bumgarner's first base. So I couldn't put Max at first. The only like change I could have like the guy who was like who I originally put Syndergaard in there, but I swapped it out for Max. But like Syndergaard is the other guy. The two guys that people said was Syndergaard and Stroman.
Wait, you don't have Stroman in there?
I don't.
Oh, wow.
But I have Greinke in there. Like this is not a shot at Stroh. Stroh is unbelievable athlete, but like Greinke's done it, and he's put him at second. How can you argue with that?
I mean, you can't, right? Because it's your list. But like, I mean, would I have an identical list of you? No. As you
But
know.
would you put Stroh in there over Greinke?
I would find a way. Like, he's one of those guys, though, that like I have to find a way to put him in.
Okay,
I put
and
Greinke
this
behind
was
the dish. Sorry, Weave.
Okay, so you put Granky behind the dish. So you kick Weave out, obviously. Like you're kicking your
But Weave's got a show bomb.
He does have a show bomb.
That puts him like at the top, dude. And the
It-
fact that we both know him and how he is with hitting and how seriously he takes it, like that's
Yes.
why you want him on the team.
And so I'm not saying Stroh couldn't do it, but he's played all of his career in the American League.
Yeah.
He's like my first guy off the bench. And
Yeah.
Syndergaard is right there too. Syndergaard hit 2 bombs in a game. So you're automatically in contention.
We need to make a list of like athletes from a specific sport who can play a different sport. I don't know how
Yeah,
to put
baseball
that into
players
words.
like baseball players to pick 5 current players to play in the NBA and
Yeah.
pick players to go, like if you were building an NFL team, what baseball players would you pick? And then what NFL players would you pick to go play basketball? I don't know what of any of those sports I would pick to play baseball.
The only thing that comes to mind is Kevin Love and Klay Thompson.
And Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But
Pat
they were
Connaughton.
both baseball. Oh, easy. Great White Hope? How about we do this, dude? We just do a Great White Hope list or a bracket, a full bracket of like.
Oh, wow.
I'm doing it, writing it down.
All time.
Is that racist? Should we not do that?
I don't know.
I don't know either. I don't care.
I don't know.
It's 2020.
We'll probably get in trouble.
I mean, we'll find a way. Either way.
Yeah, it's, I'm trying to think of like who my top 10 would be.
Dude. Yeah.
Is he your number 1? We talked about it earlier. Is he your number 1?
Yeah. I mean, hashtag the something.
Yeah.
He's getting a 1 seed now, depending on who he goes up against. And
Who's your number 1 overall seed?
Jason Capono. Oh, from left center, it's got a chance. Going. Best home run derbies ever. Best slam dunk contest, Vince. Easy.
Yeah, Vince. But also the Aaron Gordon, Zach LaVine.
Dude.
Legendary.
Even this past one was good.
Yeah. Home run derbies. God, where was the one at Fenway? Was really good.
Fenway had everyone, right? Like Bonds, Griffey, Sosa.
Oh man, Griffey,
Pretty sure they
backwards
were all
hat, just
stud, dude.
goodness.
That's why he makes your list on MLB's Instagram, just because of the backwards hat.
Did you like the wiffle ball list too?
I didn't see that one.
Oh yeah, we did a wiffle ball all time. We did a starting lineup of wiffle ball stances.
Dude, you were not a kid growing up in the 90s or wherever the heck you grew up, since you're only 18 years old. But like you just weren't, unless you went in the backyard and like said, okay, I'm this team and I have to do everyone's batting stance. And if I do it wrong, I'm automatically out.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's so funny. I was telling my mom yesterday too, like, cause I'm at home and I literally was saying, like, I used to think our backyard was so big, and now it's like I take 6 steps, dude, and I'm like from one end to the other.
Like, I need to hit a homer here. This is gonna be a bomb. And you hit it, like, I crushed that.
Yeah, you would think like home runs would happen often because my backyard's like 23 feet, but for some
Not
reason,
little Rob.
the pitching stance or the pitching deliveries were my favorite. Like Dontrell Willis all the way, dude.
Hey,
I was
Momo.
the 03 Marlins team so much, dude. And then Juan Pierre freaking batting leadoff, dude. Just
Juan Pierre.
little drag bunt, speed at 99.
Oh man.
So
And then you hit bombs as Dontrell too.
Yeah. Oh
It is.
wow, he should be in your list.
It was current players.
Nope.
If we were going all time, that list would look completely different. I don't know if I make that list. I'm gonna be honest.
Mike Hampton.
Yeah.
I think he's
CC
historically.
Sabathia.
Yeah, CC.
Bob Gibson, Dontrell Willis, Bumgarner, Greinke. I don't know who else raked.
Could
but
you do the list? Complete
Devon
segue.
Hernandez.
Wow, name drop and a half.
Name
Guy
drop.
had 38 pitches. Could you do the list that I said on Twitter? The 5 favorite actors and then their 5 best movies.
Ooh, that was a really good one.
I
Yeah.
gotta write that one down too because I want to.
You know what? I'm gonna give you a question that I got asked today. It was, you're stuck on a desert island, right? You get 3 actors, and the only movies you can watch are feature like those actors.
You
So like
just
they
left hook
don't
your
have
mic.
to all be, yeah, no, they don't have to all be in each movie, but like you can only watch all of his movies, and all of his or hers.
Ooh, well, see,
Actors.
I say take it up a notch with the question and just do one actor.
You
Because
get one.
then you
Well,
have
I
to
already-
like think more about who's acting with him.
I've already done it, and I know who my one would be. But yeah,
Um,
I know who my one would be.
yeah. Well, say it.
But who's your one? You know who your one would be?
Who's your 1 and 2 and 3? I want to hear your list.
Who's yours?
Easy, bro. You just asked me. Let me think on it.
Well, you thought you said you had your one.
Well, because it's tough, dude. Because for some reason I automatically think Sam Jackson. He checks all the boxes of like
Samuel
what movies.
Jackson. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Number
Yeah.
one.
He's your one?
He's my one.
Oh wow, we are on
get-
freaking the same wavelength right now.
Yeah. You get all the Marvel movies,
Yeah, you get.
and you
Coast
have
Guard.
everything else that he's been in.
Oh,
I mean, you get what?
I got a talking point for you after we finish this discussion.
Okay. And don't forget it.
I will.
But yeah, you get all the Marvel movies. You get Django. I mean, there's just like
You get Deep
There-
Blue Sea. Guy gets eaten by a shark. Put it on the board.
absolutely everything. Yeah. My 2 and 3, I had to do 4 because I couldn't leave. It was really close. So my 2, because I have to have a comedy, would be Will Ferrell
Yeah.
and all of his.
Yeah.
And then my 3, 4, literally 3A, 3B, I could not decide, was Denzel and Tom Hanks.
Ooh, Tom Hanks.
Yeah. So Tom Hanks has a little bit more variety, but Denzel is just my favorite. I could not leave him off the list, but Tom Hanks has a little bit more variety. He's got more.
See, then I look at a guy like Will Smith though, who's like Will Smith, even a guy like
Will Smith, Brad Pitt, Tom Cruise, Matt Damon.
Yeah, like all those guys, Ben Affleck, like, they have so much variety. Okay,
Yeah, Matt
so
Damon.
segue. Speaking of Ben Affleck, so I went and saw The Way Back, right? So the new
I've
basketball
not seen
movie.
it yet.
Yeah,
I wanted to go see it. I don't remember what happened, but yeah.
Corona 2020.
Yeah.
All our movies here, dude, we're on lockdown. I don't know how you guys are down there, but like we're actually legitimately on lockdown.
No movie theaters.
Yeah, we have nothing. We can order takeout and drink water. That's it.
You don't drink water.
Yeah, so The Way Back, dude. Tough hop for your boy, I'd say.
How so?
I'm you know how I am with sports movies, man. Like, you gotta get it right. You gotta get the little details right. Like, if a guy's jump shot's broke, like, you probably shouldn't be dropping 20 a game. Like,
Oh no, it was like that.
it wasn't like hardcore like that, but it was just, yeah, it was basically like that. There's a guy, so the podcast that I did with Baseball America, the guy that hosts that podcast, he also does a podcast of a sports movie podcast. And we were sitting there talking about like the best sports movies and talking about how like all these like little tiny details go into if it makes a good sports movie or not. And so we started like rambling on, and I was like, dude, that's a great idea for like segments of our show, is like we break down a specific sports movie and just be like, hey, this is what I don't like. This is that. Because it's hard. I would say basketball movies, I would say baseball movies are the hardest to get like the details right. But basketball is probably like second.
Basketball is definitely second. But baseball, like that was my big complaint about like just 42 was there was just the details in it were just they weren't very good.
Yeah.
They just didn't look like baseball players. Like the dude would lift his leg, already start his motion, and then he would steal and he'd be safe by 5 feet.
But that's what was cool about Moneyball too, right? Is like they actually hired baseball players to do it.
Yeah.
Which was, I mean, I think that's the way to go.
Yeah.
Especially for just like the scenes of the like the sport. It's like you gotta nail that because
Yeah. I feel like most of the football movies have been done well.
I think so too. Yeah. How about that? Best football movie of all time.
My favorite is Remember the Titans.
Yeah, we've talked about that.
I just got really bright. Huh?
What would you say is like low key the best football movie? Like
low
X Factor.
Key. What do you mean X Factor?
I go Gridiron Gang, dude. Like you don't think about it, but it pops up.
Think about?
Like like you name all of these movies.
Gridiron Gang, Any Given Sunday, and then like, something like Radio.
Oh wow! Did you ever see The Express?
And, I don't think I have.
I don't think I had either, because that guy was the guy that played in Coach Carter, Rob Brown. Mm-hmm. So
yeah,
athlete.
Also low key, what's it called? Longest Yard.
That's a great football movie. I don't know which one, the OG or the old Adam Sandler MTV.
Adam Sandler.
Yeah,
with Nelly.
Nelly's a stud.
I'm actually like, shout out to St. Louis.
I really want to sit down and find like a block of a good amount of time and really hammer like these brackets and lists down.
Dude, while I'm watching The Wire, that's gonna be me tomorrow.
Yeah, but then you're not going to pay attention. Is there any actors in The Wire that I would know?
A young Michael B. Jordan.
Oh, so this show's old.
Yes.
I got to put it on the list, man. My whole office has just sticky notes everywhere, like saying, hey, don't forget this.
Yeah. I was sticking strictly on The Wire, and then I actually restarted Seinfeld for the third time.
Seinfeld's always playing in this house. No matter where it is.
Seinfeld in The Office. Always.
Who is your player comp for your jump shot?
You tell me.
I can't remember now. Did I say DeMar DeRozan?
Probably.
Whatever happened to that guy?
I don't know.
How much does he hate San Antonio?
The Spurs just aren't very good this year.
Which is
you don't say. Wait, did I ask you that? What? Oh yeah, already. Never mind. Never mind. Irrelevant.
I asked you that on minute 13. Sorry.
Yeah, I forget. But yeah, DeMar. I think. I don't know. I need to go hoop. That's how I'm gonna pass the time.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna conclude this show because I have like 27 minutes of light left, and I gotta go train. So let's do this. I'm gonna look at your list of bracket or your list of teams. Actually, you're in charge of the bracketing of it, and then yes. I'll kind of piggyback off that list and say, hey, you forgot maybe this or that, or maybe like this and this, and then I'm gonna put together, and you're gonna also kind of think about this too. Is the Great White Hope bracket? I'm gonna throw a list together, then the 5 actors, 5 movies list. You got that?
5 actors. Okay, so 5 actors and
5
best
actors
5 movies,
and the best 5 movies from those 5 actors,
or our favorite 5 movies from those actors. Because favorite and best could be
right. Well, yeah, no, but it's a matter of opinion, right? So like your opinion on that. Okay. So that, and then I think if I have time, sometime I'm gonna do the best sports video games of all sports.
Yeah. So what you have to do with that is you have to give 5. For each one, like, baseball, basketball, you probably won't do baseball, basketball, football.
Well, no, I played football video games.
You play football one?
Played shell.
You do?
Yeah.
Oh, NHL.
I have before.
I don't know. Like, there'd be one NHL that would make. I would give myself 5 of each, and if I had to cut down.
Are you saying like you want me to break it up into like the specific sport? And then
I think that's the easiest way to pick them, as opposed to just like ranking in order. Like, you give yourself 5 NBA games, and then however many you want to actually pick.
Yeah.
You just break it up. You just like, okay, this one's actually better than this. But, obviously, like, I feel like all the baseball games are going to be the MVP ones. I don't know
MLB the show. I don't know, man. There's an MLB the show in there. That year, remember in Peoria, dude? I'd go bus rides, and I'd have the PS Vita. Dude.
Yeah.
I crushed. Gosh, my guy was a stud.
Show. The NBA games, that's going to be the hardest one to pick. Because you're going back to live.
NBA Live was just different.
NBA Live 2009 might be my number one.
I would have to look at the game covers to remember, like, oh, this was that game.
NBA Live 09, because my boy and I mean, they were epic battles. He was the Magic, and I was anybody like, but I always had one player. I would just go with one player, and he's just dishing out to Rashard Lewis and Hito Turkoglu.
Bro, that team was fun to play with, man.
And he's just shooting, and he's just not missing. And I'm trying to drop 70 with Kobe. Go back and forth.
See, I was NBA Live, what, 07, I think it was, with T-Mac and Yao. Yeah. That team was fun. All right, that's going to be a good list. All right, dude, I got to go.
I got way too many lists to make.
We'll be in touch, dude. Thanks for hopping on. Love you.
Yeah, always. See you soon.
See ya.